Hello and welcome! Silrace here with Star Citizen, and this is kind of just a idea I wanna throw out there and talk about a little bit. Background footage is just some Star Citizen stuff while I talk. So, Star Citizen is obviously going to be a massive multiplayer game with, all the things that come with it. For example, compromises on the day and night cycle of creating a living, breathing world. It just occurred to me that this could be solved a little bit at least, to create a little bit of immersion, a little bit of feeling of life in the world. Let's throw out an example of what I mean. When you look at a game like World of Warcraft, you will have the vendors standing in their exact locations, ready to sell you all their goods and wares, no matter the time of day you end up going there, right? Then you look at something like Skyrim or Fallout 4, for example, where you have a little bit of a day-night cycle. Certain vendors close their shops and go visit the nearby tavern when it comes to nighttime, and so on. And so it occurred to me you could easily do it so that there are, for example, 2 NPCs for every single shop, and one of them works from midnight to noon, essentially a night shift, 12-hour night shift, and one of them works from noon to midnight, the daytime shift. And this could actually be pretty easy to implement even in the game. It could work almost entirely client-side, where when a player comes to an area with various vendors and so forth, it would then check on the server what time of the day it is on the server, and essentially swap out the vendor models to the ones corresponding to that time, and then would do that only when player is loading in. If you want to be a really easy and cheap on it, essentially if you are there past noon or whatever, past midnight, it still keeps the model until you leave the area, and then you might meet the next one if you happen to come at a different time for another visit. This is obviously the times and all of that stuff. That would entirely be up to the developers and designers out there to come up with a easy fashion and solution to all of this stuff. This is just a very quick brief idea I have, and kind of easy solution, because if you push it on client side, the models and so forth, of which is being checked, you don't really need to have that constantly being tracked by the server. Only ever if player enters an area, it could ask, okay, what time of the day it is? All right, it's nighttime, so load this model for this particular NPC, this vendor. Very simple, huh? Would like to hear your thoughts. How do you want to see this? Just like, are we gonna see robot vendors? Would that be a thing? Or would you actually like to see humanoid models, being vendors and selling you, peddling their wares? Because I would be a little bit bored if all we ever see are various, vending machines and essentially robot vendors, or the same exact dude standing there 24 hours a day. Because that would be a little bit boring to me by now, right? At least to me it would. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to my ramble on this particular subject. Let me know what you think.